Eldritch Horror. I've always loved a bit of Eldritch Horror, and from time to time Blackheart dips its toes in the genre. Take this new enemy for example, a grotesque head spider formed from the decapitated bodies of slain civilians. Known as the Wretched Urchin, it's a serious threat to the player in Act 2 of the game, and today I'm going to showcase the process that went into creating it. Because Act 2 of Blackheart's story centers around the city of Fira and its invasion by an evil mage called Tyronus, I wanted the enemies that the player encounters to foreshadow Tyronus' aesthetic and his callous disregard for human life. I sat down with my creature designer and we hashed out some initial concepts of monsters that might be created by or serve the evil Tyronus. We incorporated themes of the ocean, taking inspiration from corals, sea urchins, and other crustaceans. It's important when designing enemies for a game that the enemy's form matches its function. So if an enemy moves fast, it should generally be slim and sleek. Or if it has a massive laser beam attack, there should be a giant gun or eyeball or something for the laser beam to originate from. Gameplay wise, I wanted the Wretched Urchin to summon tracking bombs that followed the player and dealt devastating AoE damage. We were leaning into the caster enemy archetype, and this eventually led to us asking, what if it just spat magical bombs out of its mouth? My artist Casey came up with this idea of a severed head fused with a hand. The head spews the magic bombs, and the hand is how it gets around. It looks absolutely disgusting, and I was sold. As I've mentioned before in one of my earlier devlogs, Blackheart's characters are modelled in 3D before being added to the game. Here you can see what starts off as a 2D concept, being fully realised as a 3D character. Once the model has been created, sculpted, unwrapped, and textured by an artist, we move on to the rigging process. Rigging characters can be quite difficult, however, I use this awesome Blender add-on called Auto Rig Pro, which makes the task actually manageable. What I'm doing here is creating a skeleton that will allow me to manipulate the model and move it into various poses. Thankfully, Auto Rig Pro has a hand preset, so the rig for this character is essentially just one big hand. Once the model has been rigged up, I can start blocking out some animations. This enemy only has one attack, so the animations I need are idle, run, attack, and die. For now, all I really need is run and attack. The idle animation is rarely seen, and the death animation is more for style and flavor rather than actual functionality. I wanted the Wretched Urchin to move in a creepy, scuttling manner, almost like a crab or spider. However, this became kind of difficult based on its physiology. I settled for more of a gallop of the fingers for now, but I'm not 100% satisfied with it yet. I plan on revisiting the animation next week. For now though, it's good enough. I export the animation and see how it looks in engine. Not bad. Now I have a decent starting point to iterate on next week and really get the animations feeling a bit more creepy, the particle effects looking more impactful, and finally adding some sounds. I'll show the result of that in the next devlog, which will come out in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more.